All right, what's up, y'all? So the woman Chris Brown abused speaks. She breaks her NDA. Okay, so if you signed the NDA, no different from how Puffy was doing a lot of his people. He abused it. Allegedly in the book Kim Lost Words, he abused one of his chefs, like threw her out the freaking house. And when I say threw her out, like threw her out and messed the lady up. Like the lady was all skint up, bruised up, everything. And I think that she signed the NDA and he just wrote off a check and gave her some money. He abused one of Cassie's friends. And I think he gave the girl like $50,000 to $70,000 allegedly, according to the Kim's Lost Words, the book. And she had to sign an NDA, of course. So maybe the same thing happened with Chris Brown. And it's like, at this point, I mean, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be many people refuting this, because we know that, Chris Brown, at one time, he was in love with the cocoa, and the cocoa make you go loco. Like, I already did a thing on the cocoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, maybe before the storm comes, maybe before the storm, maybe maybe it brings out the brilliance, because some people need drugs when they're on the stage. You be thinking like, oh my gosh, they're so heaven sent, their gift is God given and all kind of other stuff like that. And these people be drunk and high as I don't know goddamn what, gyrating all across the freaking stage. And it helps them to be a little bit more entertaining. But we know, because Chris Brown, I definitely believe that he could possibly abuse, a regular chick. If you abuse Rihanna and y'all know them pictures, y'all can y'all can go find them pictures. Y'all go find them pictures online. Them pictures is online of what he did to Rihanna. Rihanna's nose was bust, lip was bust, eye was black. You know what I'm saying? And this was Rihanna. This was something that you couldn't hide, and you didn't have no discipline and no self-control. So the fact that you ain't had no discipline, brother, you ain't had no freaking self-control. And then another thing too is like, it could be, something is definitely going on with Chris. You know what I'm saying? Something is definitely going on with Chris. And I'm one of them people, like, I always fight for Chris. Like, I'm one of them people, I actually like Chris. You know what I'm saying? I like Chris. Like, I was really rooting for him when he was going to do that Michael Jackson tribute. I watched his whole video on YouTube. I felt like I was watching the actual performance. And it was basically him and his dancers and all the hard work that they was putting in. They were, like, I guess their practices and stuff like that, they were recording it, and it was all on. I felt like I was watching the whole show right there. And it's like, who else in society today will put you in the mind of Michael Jackson? Who could do the best I honestly think that nobody could do a better tribute for Michael Jackson than Chris Brown. Usher has the moves. Usher can do the voice. But Usher's aura and I don't know, when Chris Brown started dancing, it's like you feel like the spirit of Michael Jackson is just like with him. You could be looking and you feel the spirit is just with him, But it's like, now this lady that came out and like, who else finna be coming out? They just exposed a lady that was lying on P. Diddy. Cause we already know that half of them are liars. No different than some of them that came out with R. Kelly. And this is why I think R. Kelly was so freaking mad. Because not only has the people that was taking him down allegedly was also involved, in a lot of shadiness. So it's like, how's y'all taking down one of y'all own? And then on top of that, y'all got, half of these people is freaking lying. So, yeah, and that messes up stuff for the true victims. That messes up stuff for the true victim. But then it's like, what is going on with Chris Brown? And it's like, why does he have, cause we watched him from when he was a young man. And it's like, why does he have this built up anger? It's like a built up anger that he has in him. And it be seeming like it be towards women. And then it make me think like, dang, is he an undercover brother too? Cause it just be very much suspect when men have a hate for a woman. Yeah, it's something up with that. It's very much us women is starting to see that. Psychologically, something is up with that. And to give, to give the benefit of the doubt of these guys, it could be multiple different things. One thing, it could definitely be drugs. Like I said, you can get on the cocoa, you having fun, everything is great. Till that high start freaking coming down. Once that high start coming down, it's like you want to break stuff, you want to fight, you want to, the chemical imbalances is off, and they trying to get back right. And you trying to fight people and all kind of other stuff, and the cocoa can do that to you. So it could be the drugs, or it could be that he does have like a hate, because maybe, deep down inside, his sexuality is not, he can't express himself the way that he wants. Even though I'm finna tell any of you right now, I don't care if you carry yourself, you do not have to be a feminine and flamboyant man to be gay or to like the opposite sex. You can literally be a masculine male that likes the opposite sex. Come out and be who you are. If you're not around the people that you can be yourself around, then those are not the people for you. And that could even be your family. So it could be that, or another thing that a lot of people don't think about, it could be his relationship with his mama. The way men treat women, sometimes you can have some men that literally grow up and they have a deep-seated hate for their freaking mom. Maybe their mama was in a relationship, because we know Chris Brown came out and his mama was being abused. His mother was being freaking abused, and he was watching his mama be abused. And maybe and a lot of times you think because these kids are young, like these kids aren't smart, like they don't have a freaking mind, but your kid can literally lose respect for you. And Chris Brown could have lost a level of respect for his mother, especially if the abuse was being turned on him as well. And and she stayed with him. Because like you do have a lot of women out here that need to be validated by men so freaking bad to the point where they will stay in a relationship with a man freaking abusing them for years. And then when you decide that you want to, give up the dating for a while, focus on your spirituality and focus on yourself, they don't understand. And they literally will harass you into getting a man. Like, you need to get a man. You need to get a man. It's the only way you're going to be validated in society is if you have a man. And it's like, girl, you better be happy I'm making the choice to work on my spirituality and become a better person. But I understand Chris Brown 100%. I understand Chris Brown 100% because I was like thinking to myself, I said, I wonder if he be out there, the abuse that he be doing on these women, if he have like a deep-seated hate for his mom. And not only that too, your fathers too. You don't understand the first relationship that a child has or even learns from is the relationship with their mother and the relationship with their father, whether it be good or bad. If you're living in a household and you're watching your parent be abused for freaking years, you're slightly going to lose respect for them. You know what I'm saying? You might slightly start losing respect for them, or you might start to hate the abuser and want to do something to that person. Like, it really will affect you. Divorce affects kids. That stuff affects kids, and people don't understand on what freaking level that affects kids. And even the way people grow up, and even how they start dating. Like the way this boy been dating, from jumping the chick from chick to chick, not really having no respect for many of them, dogging them, abusing them, all kind of stuff or whatever. It probably the way that he feel about women could be the way he feel about his freaking mom. Yeah, and we really do. And we don't think that way. And a lot of the times his mama might not even know that, because a lot of times you might get older and it's like you can't really just you can't really just straighten your parent like you would straighten somebody on the street. Like, you ain't finna just tell mama, like, listen, when you was getting your ass whooped all them years and you decided to stay because you needed validation. You know what I'm saying? I slightly lost the respect for you. And even to this day, like, I know you still my mama, and in my adult life, you be trying to give me advice and stuff like that. But I mean, I take your advice somewhat with a grain of salt, because you wasn't doing that when you was my age. So yeah, and I'm looking at you like, who is you to tell me what? Yeah, come on now. Like, don't do that. So things could literally start going that way. Things could literally start going that way. And I don't know if that's what affect Chris Brown, but that is something to look into, So now Some chick named Liziani Gretz. Okay. Okay. A woman who accused Chris Brown, and this sounds about right because he don't date black women. A woman who accused Chris Brown of domestic violence is speaking out ahead of investigation discoveries. Chris Brown, A History of Violence documentary is speaking out. Wait a minute. Chris Brown, A History of Violence. They done got a whole documentary of Chris Brown out here. Okay, now that's kind of messed up. Y'all got a whole I didn't even know. Wait a minute. I'm going to have to watch this dang documentary. So it said A History of Violence documentary speaking out last month, the channel. But according to Jaguar, right, they've been trying to take Chris Brown down for the longest. And the industry has not forgiven him for what he did to Rihanna for whatever reason. And he can never, ever move past that. And that's exactly why with my kids, I never allowed, like I used to see other people be like, well, they have to make mistakes. And I'm like, nah, because some mistakes you can make. And guess what? You gonna learn from it. But guess what? You might be in jail and 20 years of your life gonna be taken away. Or you might learn from it. But guess what? Now you got 2-3 freaking babies and them babies ain't going back in your stomach. Like, come on now. Like, it's like, you gonna learn from it. But at the end of the freaking day, some things that you commit is just, you're not learning from it in that type of a way. You can't take it back. Like, you can't take it back. So, let me see. So last month, the channel announced the documentary would feature an alleged victim of Breezy's who has not spoken out before on Instagram. She revealed herself. Gret says that after taking the singer to court, fans of Brown's accused her of being a liar and a clout chaser. How is she a liar and a clout chaser? And y'all still can pull up the pictures of Rihanna beat up online. Like, that right there ain't even making no sense. And even though, like I said, I would definitely go to a Chris Brown concert out of anybody because I know that it would be a good show and he would put on a great performance. But do I believe that he's not an abuser? I can like you all day. I'm going to call you out on your ish. Cause then who was trying to fight Tiana Taylor? I mean, I remember it was something that happened recently. Was that Chris Brown? Like, he came at and tried to attack. I don't know if he attacked her verbally or what. Let me see. Yeah, it said Chris Brown and crew fight Usher at birthday party. I remember that had came out. Let me see what TMZ. This was on X from TMZ. Okay, let's see. Yeah, cause Tiana right there. Okay. Okay, so TMZ has obtained footage of the argument where Chris Brown was yelling at Tiana Taylor while Usher intervened. Okay, yeah, because I thought I remember this just happened. You know what I'm saying? I remember this just happened. So obviously you got problems. You don't have self-control, Chris Brown. And why is you always out here trying to attack these women? Maybe growing up and what he witnessed his mother go through and what situation she put him in as a child. You got him in a house with a freaking abuser. You know what I'm saying? You got him in a house with somebody that is abusive. And who, no telling if he's on drugs or whatever. No telling if the guy was not only abusing Chris Brown's mother in front of him, but if the man was also abusing him. But I mean, all we can do in situations like this, when we see people going through stuff like this, when we see and we know that it is the known trauma, because this is definitely, I feel like this anger or whatever it is that's in Chris Brown is something stems from his childhood. It's something that stems from that, and we ignore that, and we only look at the behavior, but we don't try to understand where the behavior even came from. And with me doing this long freaking breakdown and getting deep with it, which I can't help but to get deep. But I guess that's just me giving him, just me speaking on his behalf. That literally, it could be he's just not, I'm not saying that that's not a demented spirit in there now, but honestly, it could be a whole host of things that could be causing this man to have like whatever it is towards women. Cause it's like you be trying to fight too many women, dude. We done caught you trying to fight on too many women. And this is ridiculous. Like this. So, I mean, we could talk about it, but we could still say a prayer for these people because there's, you know, somebody else could possibly be learning from this. Yeah. So especially some of you mothers out there that might have a son that is overly abusive and he keep beating on women. Why? Why is your son doing that? What happened in the household when he was younger? You know, could you have played a part in that and you take no accountability in placing them in that position? Like,